Well, hello everyone. We are talking today about how to scale your business with marketing and AI. People always ask us about our businesses, right? One of the things that we've been doing is we've been scaling businesses, we've been selling businesses, and then we like to just partner with businesses who are between 2 and 8 million, and that has so many complexities with those businesses. And so we love to support those businesses and help them. One of the biggest questions that people ask us is how do they break through that ceiling of 1 million? A lot of people can get to the 500,000, they get to the 100,000,
Five or 6 million.
500,000 to the million, and they need to figure out what they can do to kind of get through that ceiling.
Yeah, and at that point, you're in the business. You're really at a place where you're just being the operator and you're running, but you don't have time to really think outside of the box. And we can add in that value to figuring out how to do a different marketing strategy or a different channel for that business. That's really the key.
As the business grows, right? As you start getting past 1 million and get to 2 million, when you get to that middle range, you start looking around and thinking, the company's making more money, but I'm making less money. And I'm having so much more headaches. And that's when the chaos starts to reign. And that's like that messy middle is what we call it. Where we come along, we can add cash into the business. We add systems, we add marketing, we add AI. And that's when it can kind of explode.
You have to become someone new. You have to think completely different to go from here to there. If we can get them sooner and they keep that energy, that's even better. If not, we got to reinvigorate them and kind of drive them with new vision and new clarity.
As the job of the CEO is to figure out what's the company's right next thing to do.
That's going all the time. I mean, you look back at Blockbuster, that guy had a decision to make, whether he was going to sell to Netflix and didn't, right? That was the wrong decision. And you don't want to make the wrong decision because it's life or death sometimes.
The number one thing that I see all businesses is the demand and supply, right? Supply and demand. Either they don't have enough leads or customers, the demand is too low, we need to get more leads and customers, we need more sales, we need more revenue. Then the other part is other people that we deal with, they go, look, I don't have a supply issue. Please don't give me any more leads. Please don't give me any more customers because I can't handle the ones that I have.
Yeah.
And it constantly, every business, it's always like this.
It should. Sometimes they couldn't even identify who their customer was, right? Because they were just all things to all people. And then without doing that, they couldn't simplify their marketing to drive in that customer.
If you get your systems right, you can actually have B or C players because the systems are so good that you don't have to pay the money for the A players. Talk about that.
Amazon dominated that space, right? Like when they set up the warehouses, they had such a good system. They know how a piece went all the way through and what it cost them to move a piece all the way through, that they could hire, lower cost people to do those, which then says you're providing a job to the masses because then only anybody can qualify, And so the more complex it is, the more talented they have to be to solve that problem instead of having it in a system is essentially an economy of loss.
Stop trying to fill or put out 10 different fires. Put this fire out. Now we're going to focus on this fire. Now we're going to focus here. And then your job as the CEO is to figure out which fire to put out. One of the biggest mistakes that I've seen people do is that they never figure out who they want to serve. They don't figure out their target market. And then the second one is they don't choose an enemy.
Picking somebody that is going to be your competition and then, throwing rocks at them, if you will, of like, hey, we do this better than them. And I think you really dominated that, especially when we started in the real estate space, is that you saw a problem and you saw that other competition was not solving that problem. So you just dominated with, this is how we solve the problem. We solve that problem. We solve that problem. We solve that problem.
And I do want to give you one more little tidbit that I want to talk about with marketing. We are getting ready to do, our next episode is going to be all about the tips on marketing. And so you don't want to miss that. If you want to get the latest episode, make sure you subscribe so that you can be the first one to get our latest YouTubes and stuff out there. So thanks for being with us, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time. Bye-bye for now.